What oligarchs rule? Wow! Oh, thought is this: an important thing is not to be evil, while other things are unimportant. In other words, the only important thing is not to be evil. Why? I cannot explain. Maybe a listener thinks the same way. Then that is a reason. Thought is this: a person does not have to do anything, even not to be evil. A person is free. Like, hello? If a person borrows from his friend, he has to do something to return that debt because there is an agreement with that friend. But where is an agreement with God, nature, society, or a state that a person has to do anything? There is no such agreement. A person does not have to do anything. We talked that a person does not have to do anything in a talk about love. A person does not have to smile and to say thank you to a gift because he did not ask for it, did not. A person does not have to help his parent because a person did not ask to be born. A person does not have to help his child because a person needs to release sexual tension. He has no other choice. He releases sexual tension through sex. It leads to fertilization to a child. A person who says that he wants a child may adopt it, but no. A person does not have to serve another person because a baby does not come to this world with a document in its hands that that baby is a slave. The law is made by a ruler. If a person does not choose a ruler, a person does not have to obey that ruler, does not have to obey the law. A person does not have to undergo military enrollment because he does not agree to it. If a ruler was chosen, did he say about military enrollment during elections? As a head, most of the time slavery was allowed and women were not allowed to vote. Should I obey an initial or new law? May I choose at least that? No. If I am dying, you do not have to call ambulance. Maybe you are scared of phones. Or not. You do not have to anyway. Thought is this: willpower exists. Life is not determined. A person may hold his breath for a few seconds, though it's not what he usually does, and it does not help survival. I may clap now. Wait. Wait, I did it and you heard it. A person is not scratching an itchy eye. A cop uses foul language. I do not blame him. But when someone addresses a cop, he is polite. Address cops more. Joking. Willpower improve your state. Uh, willpower lets a person not to be evil and lets a person to be kind. If a person wants to harm but does not move to harm, it is not evil. If a person does not want to help but forces himself to help, it is kind. Thought is this: most things are not evil nor kind because most things are not even alive to be evil or kind. Dust, a stone, and breathing are not evil nor kind. So the universe is not evil. Joking and not. Thought is this: a person knows what is evil and if he does evil, he dislikes for a short time, though all of it hinders survival. Ethics hinders survival, but exists. That he knows what is evil is called conscience. That if he does evil he dislikes for a short time is called guilty conscience. Why does a person give money to charity if he may save that money for emergency? To live himself. A person should not live at the expense of another, right? A person needs to release sexual tension, but rape is evil. If a person is hungry, to take another person's food or to eat him is evil. Here is a metaphor about importance of not being evil. A person may kill and live the rest of his life or not kill and live again. Thought is this: whatever a person thinks is evil is evil. A person may just think, is it evil? An answer will be correct. I cut out a neck of a plastic bottle. I have an anti-mosquito net, but if a gnat flies in, I wait until it lands on a wall. I cover that gnat with that neck. Moving that neck away from that wall, I use a piece of paper to close that neck. I made this photo. Outside of a window, I open that neck, letting that gnat to fly out. In my opinion, it is kind. A murder may be kind if a person thinks that he helps society. A serial killer likes to kill. It may not be changed. If a serial killer is killed, only one person is killed. If a serial killer is not killed, more than one person is killed. A serial killer may kill in prison too. Metaphorically, it is easier to make one coffin than many. In my opinion, an animal is not evil because an animal is not smart. Yeah, does not know what is evil. Because a cat, with all due respect to cats from all over the world, attacks a moving finger like it is prey, which has a beating heart. Also, because if a person uses a stick to play with a cat and it is annoyed with that cat attacks that stick, not a person who holds that stick. Also because in one third of cases, when a street cat is given food, that cat does not understand what to do. For cats, everything is, including a flat, is nature. For a cat, a TV is a part of nature. Maybe a weird bush. Yeah. In my opinion, if a cat marked a TV, it is not evil. That cat thinks that it is a right thing to do to mark a TV and thinks that I am stupid that I do not do that. Thought is this: sometimes people say, "Oh, it's a cockroach," like running or whatever. It's okay, because an animal is not evil. A crocodile too. Metaphorically, not only people are allowed to live. In my opinion, people who are less than 25 and addicts and retarded people and insane people are not evil. As a head, a brain grows until a person is 25. What is funny is that as a head, bones are made till 25 too, because baby bones fuse into adult ones. When I was 23, I existed the same way a watermelon exists. I just got bigger, yeah. I was not a person and it is not too much of a metaphor. Since I turned 25, I got opinions, and they do not change. Addicts think only about getting a dose. How do they know what is evil if they think only about getting a dose? Retarded and insane people, with all due respect, enter a house through a window, not a door. How do they know what is evil? As I heard, in 100 people, zero point 0.5 is retarded, zero point 0.7 is a schizophrenic, and 5 are addicts. There are not many people who do not know what is evil. Thought is this: if a person knows, can tell, a difference between him and other things, for example, a watermelon, he knows what is evil. Yeah, self awareness. Also, if a person has an opinion, may tell why he thinks this or that, he knows what is evil too. Thought is this: people are born at 25 years of age because people know what is evil at that age, and ethics is important. A person may subtract from his age 25, and what he will get is his real age. Oh, yeah, maybe he's still a baby or not born yet. In my opinion, life itself is not evil. Life is not a prank of the universe. Though a person is born without consent and is a little unhappy. Because doing some things, a person may stop being unhappy, and to end life is not difficult. A person may jump from a high object or may stay in the cold. At least a person may join a war to fight for a kind side. A kind side. A person may dance too much, though it's too fun. A person has a possibility to live or not to live. It's not an obligation. In my opinion, what a person does not choose is not evil. Being a homosexual, transgender, and pedophile are not evil. A person may choose to be a homosexual right now. Impossible, right? Yeah. Some people say that gays are disgusting, but what if non gays are disgusting for gays? Yeah. To think anything is not evil because a thought comes by itself. Metaphorically, the filthiest thought a person had is not filthy at all. It's up to a person to be the only one who believes or does not believe in God. To defend oneself, whatever way, is not evil because a person acts intuitively. It is too stressful, impossible, to think to harm. If a baby is an attacker, it's no exception. Not to mention that a baby who managed to attack may have a knife or atomic bomb button. A parent is not responsible for his child and vice versa because a person is not another person. Two people are two heads, not one. Otherwise, it can be said that a person breathes the same air as a criminal and is guilty of what a criminal does. Not to mention that a child may be insane and a parent can get retarded. As I heard, 20 in 100 old people become retarded. In my opinion, what a person says is not evil because he says what he thinks, he does not choose what he thinks, and what he does not choose is not evil. A person says, when he thinks, there are over 1 million kinds of animals. Is useless, but not evil. To say immoral things and swearing and dirty jokes are not evil. A lie is half chosen, but it's not evil because a person does not have to believe in a lie. Otherwise, a fairy tale and a poem would be evil, and if a person A prepared a surprise for person B, B asks whether a surprise is being prepared, and A said no, it would be evil. What? In my opinion, what has to do with an own body, for example, masturbation, prostitution, piercing, tattoos, and acting in pornography, is not evil because it does not try to harm another animal. One's body, one's business. If someone wants to film me in porn, thank you. If someone is naked and has a disability, it's not evil to look at him. Can't I even control my eyes? It's the same with hearing a secret. Dressing anyhow, including for a man to dress in women's clothes, is not evil. In the end, real men's clothes are no clothes at all, right? Joking. Abortion is not evil because a fetus uses a woman's body. If she asks a fetus to leave her, it does not leave. A fetus, in that case, is like a helminth. Why no one says, save a helminth, save life? Yeah, suicide is not evil. Someone removes a corpse of a person who committed suicide, but it's not harm because if not removed, nature removes it, that corpse. Like a dead animal rots in the forest. Assisted suicide is not evil because suicide is not evil. As I heard, in most states, euthanasia is illegal because states do not want to lose taxpayers, like a slave owner doesn't want to lose slaves. In my opinion, there is something like a right of property, and no state is needed to declare that right. To have a small land, including to grow crops on it and to build a house on it, is not evil because it does not harm. Land and water are enough for everyone. The universe is big, right? Yeah. In my opinion, here is when a person also does not try to harm, which is not evil. Not evil. A person walking in the street and stepping on an ant is not evil because he does not walk to harm an ant. Thinking, oh, ant, I will show you. He walks about his business. Nevertheless, I want to apologize to an ant. Sorry, ants. Yeah, owning livestock is not evil because a farmer gives life to an animal. Metaphorically, otherwise, no one would be alive. Eating meat is not evil because a person does not think about a reason of a reason that an animal was killed to be sold. As I heard, in the Pacific Ocean there is an island of waste the size of a state. Putting, well, metaphorically, an island, yeah, putting waste in a bin is not evil because a person does not think about a consequence of a consequence. That waste goes to that ocean after a bin. Art is not evil because only an insane person may dislike a painting, but even he may just turn away. He is not obliged to look at a painting. Professional boxing is not evil because harm is agreed. If a boxer was announced as a winner without a fight, he would not fight. If a person tries to save a bug, squeezes it too much, and it dies, it's not evil because he tried to help. It is just he is not agile or smart enough. A professional doctor, though helps people, saves lives, yeah, it's not kind because he does not try to help. If he is not paid, he will not work. In my opinion, he is when a person tries to harm, which is evil. A graffiti on a tree is evil because people have to see ugliness, ugly graffiti. Uh, when a woman by magic tries to make a man love her, it is evil because it is forcing someone to do something. Directly asking a man out on a date is a bad idea. Uh, Marital infidelity is evil because an agreement is violated. By being together, it is assumed to be loyal. If a pedophile has sex with a child, it is evil because children's genitals are not developed and a child cannot agree to sex. A child doesn't know what sex is to agree to it. If a pedophile does not cross the line, he is doing great. Not joking. I doubt that a religious worker actually believes in God. That by bell ringing, that worker thinks that he helps a person, making him pray to God. I doubt that. Religious bell ringing in the morning is evil because that ringing wakes a person up, and as I heard, not getting enough sleep makes immunity 6 times worse. If an official gets money but does not work, it is evil. It is the same as stealing. A is a criminal, A is B's friend. When B hides A from police, it is evil because B harms society. That B helps his friend does not count because helping a friend is helping oneself. Thought is this: different people's opinions about evil may be different, but they are 99% similar. In some restaurants, a client may choose which fish to kill. Then that fish is cooked for him. Is it evil? Hmm. Evil is a try to make another animal dislike. A try so a paralyzed person may be evil. As I heard, worms like and dislike too. So evil may be towards worms. Dislike is the same as harm. Kindness is a try to make another animal like. Like is the same as help. Listening to music loud in headphones is not evil, but through speakers in the living area and in the forest are evil. Animals live there. There is no degree of evil, including not a little nor very evil. Thought is this: whether a person is evil or not, he knows himself, because evil is about what a person tries to do. If a person tries to harm more than to help, he is evil. Sometimes what a person tries to do is not seen from the outside. For example, a person may try to infect a computer but fail. A person knows what he tried to do. To know whether a person is evil or not, he should ask himself, am I evil? Then he needs to briefly recall what he did. In my opinion, a person is evil because littering is evil and streets are littered, especially without janitors. A piece of litter is a reminder about a kind person who left that piece. Also, because most people do not admit that they are wrong in a dispute, they continue to argue, making another person prove something, which takes effort. Also, because, as I heard, in secondhand smoke there is nicotine, and secondhand smoke is harmful. Smoke is not clean air, but smokers smoke in the presence of non smokers. Also, because, as I heard, 75% of people steal at work. Also, because at war, robbery, which is done by armed people, is left and right. Also, because a person who wants to listen to music loud may do it through headphones or may put a speaker near his ear, but no, that person does not want to lose any of his pleasure. Like 199 people in 200 people are evil. 1 in 200 people is kind. Metaphorically, every person has this or that talent, but to find a kind person is difficult. Thought is this: a person will be more evil because more things which he likes, wants, will be invented. The more he wants, the more he is egotistic. Nevertheless, in the long term, a person will be more kind. How is that? Thought is this: the worst thing is when a kind person is unhappy. The best thing is when a kind person is happy. Because if a person is on a desert island with a bad person, the former is eaten. Yeah, is dead. If a person is with not a bad person, the former is alive. So, life and death difference between kind and evil people. A person may live with the smartest person, but it's even worse because the latter is egotistic and smart, and the former will be left with nothing. With this text, I want to help a kind person, including with the text about unhappiness. Helping an evil person is prolonging his life, is harming oneself. An evil person may listen to this text too, but helping a kind person is worth it. Is worth publishing this text. Metaphorically, it's better not to punish zillions of guilty people than to punish one not guilty person. Thought is this: punishment should be 10 times bigger than a crime. To be fair, a criminal should dislike 10 times more than a victim. Because a criminal, not a victim, does evil first. Initiates a crime. A person walks as usual and he is robbed. What? Why is that? What for? He puts effort to earn money. He does not touch anyone. He buys himself nothing but loses money. And he is frightened. A person who stole one money should be fined with 10 monies, apart from returning what is stolen. If a person murdered someone, he should be tortured for 10 years by anyone who wants to torture him, and afterwards murdered, and that's it. Maybe the same way murdered, a victim was murdered. Do I agree to be tortured that way if I murder someone? Yes, absolutely. Now, just nonsense, nonsense, additions. About marital infidelity first. If a person wants to have sex not with a loved one, no problem. A person may just say to a loved one, I am living. Ethics wise, divorce is not needed. Ethics is not about papers. Next, a theft is evil because a thief not only tries to get money, but it's someone's money. A thief tries to get someone's money, tries to harm. A person does not agree to give his money, which he put effort to earn, to a stranger, right? Next, a serial killer is evil because he does not know whom he kills. He may kill a kind person. It is similar with a terrorist who bombs whoever possible, while his enemy is an oligarch who, through the media, rules a state. Next, a state, when a person was born, made him a citizen, and when he was a child, in my state at 14 years of age, gave him a passport. A child does not agree to obey a state, does not have to obey a state. Next, as I heard, where I live there are 10,000 laws. There are so many laws that it is impossible to read them, to know what a person has to do. Next, why should people put restriction on themselves? State power is based on force, not on agreement. When a person does not pay a tax, police comes with a baton. Next, when a person does not pay a tax, police comes. If it's not enough, an army comes. Only another state may conflict with a state. A regular person will fail to conflict with a state. Next, as I heard, legally a person is not obliged to accept a gift. It is right because otherwise a person would give his trash to his neighbor and that neighbor would need to carry it to a bin. Next, criminals are convicted for one crime, but they committed 10 crimes. 9 crimes are unsolved. How do thieves live if they do not have a job? Do not have a job but live somehow here? Because they steal. As I heard, officially half of murders are not solved. Because officials do not want to work. Why should an official work, solve crimes, if he still gets money? Next, a war affects an animal too. A worm does not start a war, but suffers from it, from its fire. Next, if a person tries not to move for a few minutes, like a paralyzed person lives usually, it becomes clear that euthanasia is not that bad. Next, if by fairness is meant equal pleasure, it is not the same as kindness. A person gives something to another person. The latter does not give in return. The latter got pleasure, the former got nothing. The latter did not have to do anything, did not do evil. There is no evil. But there is unfairness. Or it can be said that in that case there is unfairness and kindness at the same time.